I can't tell you how many guys on our team, when they talk about people that have impacted their career here, his name is at like the top of the list.
As a single mom raising 3 children in Chicago, Nicole Stalbird wasn't necessarily prepared to welcome in a 4th child, but by July of 2000, Isaiah was born.
I knew that even though maybe the circumstances weren't ideal, that God allowed him to be conceived, and so he had a purpose on this earth.
Soon after, the 5 of them would move west to Nebraska. A few years later, when Isaiah was in kindergarten, they would head up to Minneapolis, where they would live in a shelter known as Mary's Place. And as fate would have it,
the shelter is actually right next to the Twin Stadium in Minnesota. So when we went back and played there, beginning of the season was kind of cool. Brought back some memories, so it was kind of cool to see how, life came full circle.
After spending several months in the Twin Cities, Nicole and her kids would move back to the Kearney, Nebraska area, where Isaiah would meet the Molman family, the people that would forever change his life.
First met Isaiah when he was 5. He was in foster care with a friend of mine.
Over the next several years, Isaiah would live off and on between his mother and foster families. He would get involved in Boy Scouts, and just so happened to be in the same troop as a boy named Dakota.
We got along pretty well right off the bat. Yeah, always super energetic, wanting to hang out and do stuff constantly. So,
a friendship had begun to form, and soon Isaiah would begin attending Kathy's daycare.
When he was in my daycare, we had kind of become his second family. We would take him, like, if we went out of town for the weekend, a lot of times we'd take him with us.
In like my 7th grade year, my mom was in a tough relationship, and I kind of wanted out of that situation, so I asked if I could move in with them and talked it over with my mom.
I was on the fence about it. I could see the benefits of that, and with his willingness to want to do that, then I just thought, okay, this is kind of a no-brainer. Like, I want a better path for my son.
It was the day before 8th grade started. She called me late at night and was just not in a good place and wanted to know if the opportunity was still there for me to take him. So I woke up Dakota and asked him if it would be okay, and he was like, yeah, he needs a home.
Isaiah would participate in several sports throughout high school, with his one real love being football. And by his senior season at Kearney High School, he was thriving on the gridiron. Meanwhile, one of his former high school teammates, Noah Urbanik, was playing at South Dakota State.
I don't know if they had a bye week or something, but he came back to Kearney and we were just talking and everything, and Coach Rogers wanted a picture of me and stuff, so I remember taking a picture of him so he could send it to Rogers just to see what I looked like.
The Jacks would offer Stalbird, but he would instead choose to walk on at Nebraska.
Just a group of older guys there in Nebraska kind of like took me under their wing. I know they'll probably see this video, but I was probably like their annoying little brother, but I appreciate those guys a lot.
After spending 2 years in Lincoln and appearing in all 12 games on special teams in 2019, he would decide to transfer. And this time around, he would head north to Brookings.
He called me at work at school and said, is there any chance you could get tomorrow off? I need to go to South Dakota.
He would begin his Jackrabbit career at safety in 2020 before switching to linebacker in 2021, where he's steadily become one of the most versatile defenders in the entire FCS.
With having a guy like Isaiah that has the experience of playing safety, we've been able to use him as a flex player, and he's kind of more utilized at times like a safety than he is a true outside linebacker in anybody else's system.
The position switch was a notable change, but a much bigger adjustment was on the way, with the birth of his son Kendricks.
For me, it's just more motivation, to try and make it to the next level, so I can just provide for him and hopefully give him a better life than I had.
This year, Stalbird has been the second leading tackler for the Jacks and has turned himself into a legit NFL prospect in his final season of college football.
I get emotional. I'm really proud of him. He's overcome a lot.
He's very resilient. He's very goal-driven, and he's just a neat neat person.
I'm always grateful for it, even though life's been crazy. I wouldn't trade it for anything because, you know, that makes us the people we are today.